Here's to the matriarch of my life, to my mother. Mom, I can remember when you was a young woman and I was a little boy, looking at you in terms of how tall and how pretty and how beautiful and how proud you used to walk with your strut and your stride. I used to look at the fire in my father's eyes when he looked at you and the love that he always showed, the respect that he had for you. Mom, I know you had a lot of worries about me over the years as to what type of son I would really turn out to be. I know you had reservations as to whether I would go to jail and spend my life in jail or whether I would reach the age enough to be called a man. You had concerns about whether I would lose my life early based on the endeavors that I was involved in my life. I remember you telling me certain things, and I remember saying, Mom, I think you're reading the wrong script. That's not the script I have. But Mom, I just want you to know all along the way, I never forgot about the days when you used to go clean the abortion offices for them doctors. I never forgot the domesticated work that you did as a little baby. I remember you doing that. I remember so far back in life to when you used to wrap me up and pull that dresser drawer out and put me in that drawer as an infant. Why do I remember these things? How do I remember these things? I don't know. But God made my mind keen enough to remember the important things, and they were very important to me. I remember how you raised your kids, how you raised us to have love, respect, and honor and admiration for all people, not just black people, not just Cuban people, but all people. And at the same time, I remember you and Pop weaving in us, embedding in us that not only do you give respect and love, but you demand respect and love in return. And we have grown under that rule. I remember y'all instilling into me that whatever you do in life, the last thing you ever want to do is disrespect the family name. That's something that I hold high in my heart, and I would try and stress this to my kids. There's nothing greater than the Carlos name. Mom, you've done a wonderful job. I remember when I used to be on Lenox Avenue and you would dress us up and have a shop with our suits on and our ties on as little kids. I reflect back on the time when Hepsi came into the world and Pop got us dressed and told us stay clean because we were going down to Harlem Hospital to see you and the baby. And I recall Andrew and I went down, and Champ as well, went down to Colonel Young Park, and they had the coal stacks down there, and the kids were sliding down the hill with the cardboard on the coal. And I remember telling Champ, let's get on there. And Champ said, no, you heard what Pop said, and he walked away from it. So, but Andrew and I stayed. And I told Andrew, let's go one time. Let's go one time. It only took one time for us to go. And for that next 2.5 hours, we were on that hill, sliding down that coal. And we came to the house, and Pop saw the way we looked. We looked like tar babies. There was so much coal dust on us. But we still had our suits on and our ties, although they looked like somebody sprayed us with a black spray gun. But the bottom line is, Pop said, well, I don't know what y'all did, but we don't have time. You're going to see your mom and your sister. And I'll never forget as a little boy looking up in that window and seeing you hold Hepsi up in your arms, so proud of your new baby, and then had to go put her down to come back and raise your hands up to express to Pop, like, what happened? Why are they looking like that? That was the funniest thing in the life for me, for you to look down at Dad and say, like, what happened to my babies? Why are they looking like that? That's one thing, Mom, that always stood out in my mind, the love that you've always shown us. Dad worked 24/7. You worked 24/7. I remember the nights you gave up your life to sleep with your man, to be home with your man, to go and make a few extra dollars to work the night shift at Bellevue Hospital. The sacrifices that you guys made to raise us to be wholesome, to be wise, to be forthright. Mom, I can never tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate you, and how much I will always have you in my heart, my soul. Mom, I will always love you. Thank you. Early in the morning, I had that vision. I don't know how I had the vision or what, but I had that vision. I remember we went to dinner that night, and I told Pop, when he asked me, he said, what's the matter, Johnny? And I told Pop that I was in a movie. I don't know whether you remember that, But I remember expressing to Pop about what happened in that vision, and I remember Pop looking at you and said, look like God, he's got something special in mind for this kid. But also I remember at the same time that I used to run around and say, I'm going to be rich and famous. I'm going to be rich and famous. Well, Mom, that vision came to light because 15 years later, that vision came to light in Mexico City. I'm not rich in terms of dollars, but I'm famous around the world, just like the vision said. As to whether I'm going to be rich in dollars, I don't know. But what I can tell you, I'm rich in spirit. I'm rich in my soul. I'm rich in my faith in God. I'm rich in my faith in you. If I never had made material goods, the dollars, I could live with that because the riches that I have, people with all the dollars could never buy what God gave me. And I just want you to know, Mom, that you've been a big, big part of that. You and Pop. I love you, Mom. I could never express to you how much. And thank you for all you've done for me.